Okay, last topic. I'm just throwing this one in because I find it hilarious. I guess because we, we were into filmmaking a while back, and just knowing some of the shenanigans that go on behind the scenes in terms of egos and deals and dodgy stuff and whatever else that goes on in filmmaking. But it seems like this kind of thing is kind of morphed over into the YouTube content creator community in the sense that there's the John Compea Show, which I've been watching recently because it's got some movie news and stuff like that. And, it seemed like a well-structured show and all that sort of thing. And then I sort of stumbled across all this behind-the-scenes stuff where, he was saying he couldn't afford to pay, a couple of his guest hosts that he usually has on anymore. And then, he was supporting them or one of them to go off to develop their own channel, and they're all on each other's, supporting each other and whatever. And it just seemed like a very odd thing to do. And then there's this whole thing about him, spending lots of money on a studio, but then he loses like the talent that actually makes the show really sing. And there's a whole lot of behind the scenes stuff there that is obviously not being said. And on top of that, why I'm relating it to the film and TV industry type stuff is that there's all this PR spin that's on the top of it to say everyone's great, everyone's getting along. This is what we intended from the beginning. It's all, all great and all that sort of thing. And I just found it hilarious, really, just watching it, that you would think that in a community where it's supposed to be a new platform, new way of doing things, all that sort of stuff, and you get this, which is very old school, very 70s, 80s Hollywood type stuff, and yeah, it's just, I just found it funny that it's almost like the more things change, the more they stay the same.
Oh, absolutely. And I love this as well. I got quite into it watching it because it's a story about nothing. So it's almost like Seinfeld arguments where they're talking about transparency and thanking people for standing by them without actually saying what anyone did, why it happened, or what they're doing about it. They're just, sort of, it was all nothing. And the other thing that made me think of was that, like it's a real old school any news is good news opportunity. So got some bad news going around, so we'll pump it up and we'll try to explain it without telling anyone anything, and I'll fill out a couple of hours of content with this, and people will be coming up with their own conspiracy theories, and it's going to be great. And let me tell you, it was. It was good old school, good old fashioned talent basically having a bust up, not telling us why, but, telling us everything's okay and that we should enjoy their content.
Absolutely. And I guess I just wanted, as a final point I wanted to make on this was that, we started podcasting back in 2011. And if you compare what YouTube was back then and how the content creators used to do things back then, there was something more of a not naivete, but like an innocence to it. Yeah, we're all getting out there and we're all putting stuff online and it's all great and people can see us and all that. And now it's almost like this, I guess to go back to the whole Disney thing, a corporatization of content on a platform that's supposed to be just for anyone to do their thing on. And when you then we've talked about the algorithm before, you feed the algorithm in and then that's all feeding that content. And then you end up in a place where the platform's just not doing what it was originally designed for. Even though people still do that, but the people who get watched the most are the ones doing the old school kind of stuff, which is just funny, I think.
Oh yeah. Look, it's big money now. It's big money. And the thing is if it's big money attracts a lot of people all trying to take a cut. Agents, lawyers, deals, syndication. Look, I love it. I love it that I'm no longer in the media and entertainment industry, but I love watching this stuff and I love it. I think it's good for business, good on them. I don't know. I don't know that we need to say anything more than that, but you're right. It's very much all about human nature at the end of the day.